Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome Sofia Oliveira.
And here she comes, Sofia Oliveira. Tonight, representing CDDG, 20 years of age, amateur kickboxing, junior and senior experience, 20 wins and 2 losses, pro-am at 4-1, excuse me. Learned a love of martial arts with experiencing self-defense improvement, but Dean, she realizes it's a full sport. She wanted to get the full package in the upright. She's got kicks and hands and technique and style.
She's got excellent combinations, and I love her ability to let them unfold throughout the fight. She doesn't just jump after it and go away and make silly mistakes. It's kind of like a collective battle for her. She's really done the kind of inquisitive looks into the striking martial arts, and she works her way through the steps to demolish her opponent.
Now, Dean, she also talked about the fact that she sees this bout as a start to a professional career, but she mentioned, Jim, the support she has. You look at this girl on YouTube, her technique is there, her footwork is there, she spent hours on the pads, and now this is her time.
Dean was telling us both earlier that both these girls just love the technique of this sport and just love to show it off. They're not going to come flying out the gates early. It's unlikely they're going to anyway. They want to put on the show for everyone tonight, and it wouldn't be a surprise at all if we see these girls go all 3 rounds.
Getting the final checks here, Sofia Oliveira. Says, fight clean, fight hard to my opponent, that's all. No smack talk, no bad blood, no ill will. And was totally happy to come over here to Eastbourne tonight and dedicates this fight to her grandmother that she lost 1 month ago. So a very experienced campaigner looking to start that pro career, making her pro debut. Or excuse me, a professional amateur fight, which will springboard her pro debut. This will be 4 2-minute rounds. So we had some typos on the running order. It's Sofia Oliveira. And she's getting the final checks here and making her way into the ring.
And her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, please welcome Jorgina, Ramos.
Making her way to the ring, representing Rio Fighters, the 26-year-old. Her opponent tonight, Jorgina Ramos. Started with just falling into Muay Thai. After that, Lucha Libre, MMA. Wants to be a complete fighter and loves learning about striking, not just from Muay Thai, but from every different style. Jim, she's a technician. She's the girl again. You jump on the Facebook, you see her training. She was a fan first. You can tell she's a fighter who watches tape. You can tell she's a fighter who has studied out every aspect of the game, and she looks as calm as anybody we've seen make that walk tonight.
Absolutely no fear in her eyes as she walks out here in front of a packed out crowd here, as we've been saying all night here in Eastbourne. I said earlier, both these girls just love the technique. And hopefully they're going to put on a great show for fans here tonight.
She says, Dean, this will be the first of many international appearances for her. For her, martial arts is a way to kind of go out, experience, and see the world. Tonight, man, she's got a big fight in front of her. Can she deliver?
Yeah, I mean, the travel, the diet, the sleepless nights, has it all played a part here? Look at this. I love the way she stamps the ground there. Look at the look in her eyes. She's ready for war.
To Jonathan Millard.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next bout of the evening to be fought over 4 2-minute rounds and the K1 Pro Am rules. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, she enters the cage with a record of 4 victories, 1 defeat, representing CDTG from Guatemala, Portugal. Please welcome Sofia. Her opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. She is making her professional debut, representing PRVT from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Please welcome Jorgina. Ramos. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Lethal.
Lethal and in charge, Portugal versus Brazil. An international matchup here at Super Fight Series. K1 rules action here. It's an international matchup here at Sparta Fight Series. Portugal versus Brazil. Sofia Oliveira representing Portugal in the blue corner. Red corner for Jorgina Ramos.
And this is the technique we were talking about. You know, they let this unfold like a story. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. They don't just charge straight to the end. You'll see calculated moves. Look at that left hook there. Beautiful work from Oliveira. You'll see calculated moves and techniques flow through. Look at that tie hop there from Ramos. High-level Muay Thai striker.
Have to clarify the corners there. We've got the Brazilian in the red corner and the Portuguese fighter in the blue. Apologies, we had some errors. And Sofia Oliveira in the blue corner is having a really, really good start, moving backwards, using footwork. Jorgina Ramos is chasing, looking to pop that jab into play, but so far the more loose and comfortable fighter is Sofia Oliveira.
Oliveira looking for that left hook. Look at that, she targets it beautifully. She moves the heads, keeps the hand up. Beautiful work trying to target that chin as the hand comes down from Ramos.
Loading up on that rear roundhouse kick upstairs. Beautiful reply, switching up. Gorgeous connection from the Portuguese fighter.
And this is what we were talking about, the consolidation of information and the game plans coming out. Oliveira's sensed, and she's indeed seen that Ramos drops that hand, that right hand up against the chin. So she's looking for the left hook, and then she went high for the head kick.
Very technical kickboxing so far from both fighters. No wasted movement. And again, I feel like the early learning that we're seeing from Sofia Oliveira has paid some dividends. A shake there from Jorgina Ramos, but those are good connections. Ramos ducks her head, looks to load up on that left hook, seconds to go. And a switch kick in reply from Oliveira, the end of 2 minutes. Jim, you didn't get a word in. How do you score that?
Yeah, I'm going to score that for Oliveira. She just seemed to be doing the cleaner work too. Ramos tried to reply whenever Oliveira came forward, but just the cleaner work and the more technical work, I think, from the Portuguese fighter during that round.
Jorgina Ramos in the red corner getting a little bit of a talking to from the Rio team, and you know, I think it's going to come down to maybe being a little bit less available to being hit. It seems like Sofia Oliveira, Dean, was kind of getting the distance, using the footwork, finding her way in, and then exiting before Ramos was able to get a clean reply.
Yeah, Ramos was kind of ducking ahead a little bit kind of tenacious coming forward. Oliveira very calm on the back foot, and she's using the leg kicks to disrupt the balance and the base, and indeed the flow from Ramos. So some better work there we've seen from Oliveira.
Ramos just came into the cage. As soon as she entered, the switch seemed to flick. We've yet to see her trying to get her composure back. Oliveira just seems to be the calm of the two fighters. We'll see how this transpires coming into round 2.
2 of 4. 2 more minutes on the clock. Again, Pro-Am rules, so 2-minute rounds, 4 rounds in total, 8 minutes of total action. Both fighters looking to go professional. Both fighters, again, saw this opportunity on an international appearance to not only gain a following, but to make a statement against good competition. And I love that. There was no smack talk. There was no ill will. Nobody had anything bad to say. Both coming to win and looking to make a fair fight. Quick check there of the canvas and back underway here in Eastbourne. Nice check there from Oliveira. Technical return. Good catch again.
Oliveira looking for those counters. She's pouring out that lead hand to gauge the reaction and then come up with the way forward there. She's using the leg kicks as a distraction as well, but she'll pour out with that lead hand to gauge distance and gauge the reaction.
And Jorgina Ramos showing a little bit of Thai style with those palms kind of sticking out. She's catching punches. Nice kick catch there. Obviously didn't follow it up, but the Thai influence and even the tall posture, very evident in the style of Jorgina Ramos.
Ramos needs to pull the trigger here. I mean, the Thai style traditionally, like, you know, you'd be hopping the foot and you fire the kicks and punches, fire the combinations back, and there's kind of like a dead space in between it in Muay Thai. But, I mean, in K1, you don't see that, and you were seeing Oliveira going forward. Look, she's responding instantly. She doesn't wait for the counter. She doesn't wait for the footwork after. She's looking to score straight away.
It seems that there might be a slight power advantage as well for Oliveira. Nice jab. 1-2, 1-2, 1, and then exits. She doesn't accept return fire. Oh, nice right hand. That's a good connection. Ramos is wobbled, but Ramos wobbles forward. She kind of waltzed forward and looked a little bit rocked, but she looks good so far. Can she keep up the momentum? Forward pressure is one thing, but it's got to be intelligent. She doesn't want to rock into those punches.
Oliveira is just winning every exchange where she keeps it cool, calm, and calculated. She doesn't want to be drawn into a gunfight with Ramos here.
Ramos again dipping that head, looking for the overhand punches. Nice 1-2 there on the exit. But, I mean, Oliveira's seeing this is coming, and she's look at these pinpoint accurate punches and kicks here.
It's been an aggressive round for Jorgina, and I love the way she leads with those power shots. But the question is, Dean, when you are leading with looping punches like that, it can't be an easy read. It's like throwing your cards out.
Yeah, I mean, almost certainly we know what Ramos's game is. She wants to land those powerful shots. She wants to get into a gunfight, shoot from the hip. But Oliveira's taking her time. She's waiting for those counters to present themselves and then coming up with those big punches and kicks. I mean, Oliveira, for me, is just a more technical fighter.
Yeah, but, I mean, Ramos is still walking forward. She seems to be taking most of what Oliveira is throwing out there. Let's just see now, we're at the halfway point of this fight. Let's just see if Ramos can get herself in, close that distance again, and just make this ugly.
Good corner work here again. The commission double checking to make sure things stay dry. No additional moisture on the canvas. And you know what? There's been some actually very candid encouragement in the corner of Sofia Oliveira. I think they're asking their fighter there to turn things up a notch, which could be interesting given the fact that Jorgina is so aggressive. So maybe at the midway point of the fight, we'll see one start to wilt. 3 of 4.
Look at these big punches from Ramos. Nice knee there in the interim. I'd like to see her hammer away at that lead leg of Oliveira. Try and take the spring out of the step. You know, there we go. Oh, nice switch there, butt kick. Beautiful work. Oliveira just doing the more tighter technique, and her footwork's just more on point. She seems more in tune with the ground underneath her feet.
Ramos doing there, like we said, just trying to close that distance very quickly, get in the face of Oliveira. But Oliveira not seeming to get overly flustered. It's a battle of attrition, this one.
Ramos almost certainly charging forward with those punches. We can see she stops. She allows the dead space, which that allows your fighter to reset, and it's almost 50-50. She needs to get after it, use the leg kicks, finish with a big chopping leg kick after those combination punches.
High kick there, switching up. Jorgina Ramos, again, forward pressure, but runs right into that jab. And I think that's one of the biggest differences that we're seeing is not only has Sofia Oliveira outgunned her in the power department, but to be honest, she's out-timed her too.
Be very interesting to see how the judges are scoring this one. The pressure coming from Ramos, but it's the Portuguese fighter who I think is landing the cleanest.
Ramos landed a big leg kick there, Chris, and you notice Oliveira, she changed her stance. So those leg kicks are going through. Ramos needs to fire these punches a bit more, less telegraph, like don't punch from the hip too much, but finish with that rear low leg kick. That is going to do some damage.
And look at the aggression of Jorgina Ramos coming forward. I mean, she has shown excellent conditioning and not backed off once. After eating several clean punches in this round, the pattern continues. 10 seconds. Nice low kick there from Oliveira. Pressure again from Jorgina Ramos. Low kick swats home, and that is 3 in the books, boys.
And Ramos walk into her corner nodding, and for me, if I'm in her corner, she's got to get after it here. You know, she's got to stop telegraphing these punches, the big overhand rights and the massive left hook straight from the hip. She needs to be a little bit more tighter. And when she starts to smell that she can touch her opponent Oliveira, she needs to start thinking about clean shots straight down the pipe. And of course, finish with that leg kick. She's had success there.
Ramos definitely needs to come out in this 4th round and make it hers. Need no misjudgment in the mind of the judges. She needs to make this round hers. Oliveira, I think at the moment, clearly up 2-1 on the scorecards.
Would you say, Jim, that Ramos has got to look for a finish now to win this fight?
I think she certainly needs a knockdown at the very least here. Like I was just saying there, she very needs to make it really clear to the judges that the 4th round's hers. She ends it strong. We haven't really seen too much of the judges here this evening at all. It'll be very, very interesting to see if this goes the distance. The mouthpiece just there falling out the mouth of Oliveira as we're about to get in this 4th round.
Fourth and final round as the seconds are called out. It is now down to these final 2 minutes. Will Oliveira be able to hold on to what should be a lead on the scorecards at this point, or will her opponent, the surging Brazilian Jorgina Ramos, be able to make an emphatic finish and perhaps the needed statement to win this one in the judges' eyes?
Oliveira with that beautiful in and out footwork. Look at that jab to the left hook here. Oliveira has found the range perfectly. She's found the answer, the key to beating Ramos.
And Ramos obviously wants to get those hands moving, Dean. Her corner were calling for the right, whether it be a straight right or an overhand right. Lee Fullen not happy there, wants the separation. The action continues. Ramos is backing off, though.
Ramos again just charging forward. She has obviously been told that she needs to pile it on in this round.
She seemed to hesitate for a moment, but she's got to keep that pace up. The mental clock must continue to run for Jorgina Ramos.
Oliveira just complaining about the moisture on the floor there.
Lee Fullen calls a resumption to the action. Nice straight jab from Ramos. A good round so far. There's been forward pressure, and there's been significant strikes. That's the combination she needs.
You see Ramos there, she's just giving away the angle by tailoring up those punches from her hip. She's enabling Oliveira to see it coming a mile off and then change the angle, move laterally, and then fire off.
Oliveira looks to step in, switches stance. Southpaw plays orthodox. Both fighters actually swapping stances there. 2 to the body and a left hook upstairs, both blocked by Oliveira. Just a great technical back and forth fight. It's been a messy fight. It's obviously been a very, very fast pace and a fight at close range, but we've seen good technical striking from both women.
Very interesting, the Portuguese corner imploring Oliveira on. They want her to clearly win this 4th round, and she's landed a series of very, very good straight lefts here.
And that is 4 rounds history between Oliveira and Ramos. It looks to me like Oliveira thinks she may have done enough, but Ramos held on probably enough, in my opinion, to probably win that fight. But, man, that was close. Could it be a draw, Jim?
No. I had the Portuguese fighter winning there, Chris. I thought she landed the cleanest shots throughout. Thought Ramos came back strongly about midway through the fight and was managing to close that distance. But I think, again, in round 4, it was just the cleaner. It was the left-hand counters from Oliveira, the Portuguese fighter, that I think, for me anyway, is going to get her hand raised.
Dean, your 2 cents?
I mean, just looking at the body language of these two fighters here in the corner, you can see Ramos is almost kind of a bit annoyed, looking at the ground, stretching her arms up, and look at that. Look at the celebration there. In the camera angle, we see Ramos. Look, she's combing her hair back. She's chilling. When we get a shot there of the opposite corner of Oliveira, she's jumping on her coaches. They're hugging. She's ecstatic. You know, she knows deep down she potentially could win this fight.
I think so, yeah. No, I do have to agree with you that I would believe that Oliveira did enough to win. But I've seen stranger things before where judges hand out numbers that, hey, to you and I, don't entirely tally up.
Like I was saying, guys, the judges haven't been called into action too much this evening, so it'll be interesting to see how they saw this one go down.
To Jonathan Millard for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. With a split decision, your winner in the blue corner, Sofia Oliveira.
And Sofia Oliveira has done enough tonight getting the win. What a great scrap between these two. It was a technical fight. Portugal versus Brazil. What a great rivalry we saw, and what an entertaining series of exchanges. Guys, any final thoughts?
And look at the proud faces there of the parents of Oliveira. Smiles from ear to ear. They've traveled across an ocean to get here and watch their daughter perform, and she proved it now on one of the biggest proving grounds in the UK, Sparta Fight Series.
What can I say, guys? That for me so far has been the best fight of the evening. Definitely the closest fight we've had already. Both girls showing great respect to one another after the fight as well. That's what we want to see. And the best thing of all, guys, we've got another 4 fights to come.
Yeah, card is completely stacked here. Very, very excited to see the next line of fights here. We've got some excellent international matchups coming your way, so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.